Hello and welcome to part 2 of what makes a brand memorable. In part 1, we learnt that the most important thing to remember is that you need to build a brand, not sell a product. You need to create a unique and consistent DNA that feels the same wherever and however people come into contact with you. In part 2, we are talking all about amplification, what you can do to stand out and get noticed. Lesson number 1, social by design. Social by design is not social media. It goes beyond the realm of digital, of real life, and comes down to truth, human truth. A social idea is an idea that inspires participation. It inspires action. It inspires people to talk about something, to feel, to do. People are absolutely bombarded with daily messages. It's estimated that we receive about 7 newspapers worth of information every single day. That is a lot. If your idea doesn't inspire interaction, it will simply get lost. To expand on this point, I want to first share 5 different brands and what they've done. So first is this. This is a meat-free substitute. This created a campaign that linked in with veganry around January, where time of the year where a lot of people give up meat. They created a live call centre that was manned by comedians to help meat reducers get through the trials and tribulations of giving up meat. So when the comedians got a call through, they would answer with meat-based jokes, plant-based puns and animal noises to provide some light relief. The next brand is Brewdog. We spoke a lot about Brewdog in the first part of the webinar, as I believe they're a truly brilliant example of a brand that has got their DNA down pat. And they use absolutely every opportunity to get their name out there and to show up consistently. This campaign, Sober as a Motherfucker, was designed to promote their alcohol-free beer in 2019 and received a huge backlash of complaints to the Advertising Standards Bureau due to the implied foul language. Brewdog 100% know that they're not for everything. This was a deliberate tact to stand out and truly believe themselves. The complaints actually generated far more press coverage from them than the extension of the reach of the campaign alone. The next brand is Marmite. Love it or hate it, Marmite know that you are either an advocate or a staunch critic. There is not an in-between. Marmite's love it or hate it campaigns have seen customers proudly badge themselves and share themselves with their Marmite faces. They use polarization to their advantage of spreading their brand story. The next one is Squatty Potty. The Squatty Potty became the standout Christmas present of 2018. And if you were like me, you received one under your Christmas tree on Christmas morning. And it was all because of a pooping unicorn. It was weird, it was funny, it was random, and people jumped on the bandwagon. The next thing is Dove. So Dove many years ago uncovered a shocking insight that the majority of women did not like what they saw when they looked in the mirror. And often what they saw was not what everyone else saw. The campaign involved a forensic scientist sketching 2 versions of the woman. What he saw and how the women described themselves. It was relatable and it was heartbreaking, but it was universal. People were able to see themselves, their friends and their family in the content. There is no doubt that the budgets and media spends of these brands vary drastically, but there is a common denominator. All of these campaigns were designed to share. They were designed to get people talking, thinking, acting and doing. They were built to be inherently shareable. So what do people share? People share advice, tips, human truths, random stuff, what the fuck did I just watch things, stuff that they know that someone else will love. But why do they share? It all comes down to self. The motivation to share comes down to my desire to connect with others, my desire to elevate the perception you have of me, and my desire to help or to be seen to be helping. So what does this mind-blown piece of information mean for your brand and standing out? Build campaigns that are designed to get people involved and to share. Make it easy for people to spread your message for them. And never forget, it's not your job to appeal to everyone. Lesson number 2, keep talking. It takes an average of 7 times for a message to be heard. And if you take into the account the amount of information that people are bombarded with, it's really, really, really easy for you to fall out of their minds. What I hear a lot from brand owners is, oh, I'm really worried that people will get bored with my content and they'll switch off and they won't be interested. Believe me, you will get bored a long time before your customers do. Be consistent. Reinforce the same message. I'm not saying run the same piece of creative time and time again. I'm saying tell the same story. Continue to reinforce your point. And to, I suppose, reflect this, I just wanted to share with you that Marmite has been talking about love or hate for about 23 years now, and Dove has been talking about real beauty for 17 years. They refresh the vehicle for the story, but the story is always the same. Lesson number 3, invite the customer in. Consideration is often the biggest barrier to purchase. If your customer hasn't experienced you, they're unlikely to consider you. You need to create immersive experiences. Sampling, for example, sampling is absolutely key. You want to give people the opportunity to create your product, especially if you're an FMCG in a cluttered category. You want to make sure sampling is a continuous part of your strategy. Hotel Chocolat are absolutely brilliantly at this. When you step into their store, you are immediately greeted with samples and tasters of their latest products to try. Think about events. These could be virtual or real life. Create events that are grounded in the ethos of your business. A chance to experience the products and go deeper into your brand story. The event should be aligned with your brand story and offer something that feels unique and novel. It should feel exclusive but also inclusive, that you're being invited in. Great examples that I've seen over the past few years have been virtual wine tasting, soul circles to launch a menstruation period box. The creativity is your only limit here. Really create experiences that bring people into your brand story. The next pillar is create additional content. Provide customers with something that they wouldn't have access to or didn't know before. This might be a skincare quiz that aims to show you what the best regime for your skin is, or might give you an exclusive behind the scenes interview with your favourite music star. It gives you as the brand the chance to talk about more than just the functional benefits of your product. And the fourth pillar is think about a loyalty program. Reward your customers for spending time and purchasing with you. This needs to be more than just a transaction though. It needs to offer the customer something that they wouldn't get elsewhere. Is it latest product news, a chance to buy first, free samples, or even profit share? Really think about how you can bring it together so that they feel like they're part of your brand. The other thing to consider is how you can harness the power of social currency by incentivizing social sharing. The best way to illustrate this is to use a brand as an example. Frank Body is an Australian-based beauty company. It was founded by 5 friends who are on a mission to remove the hyperbole that saturates the skincare industry and to make, I suppose, skincare fun. Frank Body is best known for its coffee scrub and naughty, provocative personality. Frank Beauty has tapped into micro-communities. Consumers are incentivized to share product usage through Getting Dirty with Frank. They've also extended this into a tiered loyalty program that grants access to deals based on not only purchase but social sharing. The core thing with any immersive experience is that it needs to add value and it needs to feel authentically you. It will not work if the experience that you are offering has nothing to do with your brand and what it stands for. Lesson number 4, partnerships. Partnerships are an absolutely brilliant way of introducing your brand to a new audience. And there's 2 ways that you can do this: piggybacking or creating a new revenue stream. Piggybacking is more of a traditional partnership Two brands unite and share each other's products and services. Some great examples of these type of partnerships are Red Bull and GoPro, two brands centered on extreme sports, sent a skydiver to the edges of space. Dipsy and Estrid, brands both looking to empower women, have partnered for a sales incentive. And KFC and Cheetos partnered for a new take on the traditional KFC chicken sandwich. The second type of partnership is the creation of a new revenue stream. This is when two brands pool resources to create a new product. Many of these products are licensing, with one company often in charge of producing the product, but the opportunity that this creates is that both brands give the product the tick of approval. So examples of this are Nike and Apple coming together to create the Apple Watch Nike Plus, Off Limits, a cereal brand, and Salt and Straw, an ice cream brand company, creating a breakfast ice cream, and Lego and Stranger Things coming together to create this Lego collection. But why do these partnerships feel inspiring and natural, and other times you see partnerships and you just feel total and utter cringe? Great partnerships are beyond a product fit. To work, partnerships must be absolutely aligned on their mission and their values, as well as the product. So that concludes the end of part 2. Being memorable is down to having a strong foundation that stands out and stands for something. It is down to being consistent and continually showing up with the same message time and time again. It is about creating ideas that are designed to get people to share. And it's the importance of continually bringing your customers into your product and giving them something that goes deeper and has a deeper experience with your brand. I really hope you've enjoyed this webinar, and if you are a purpose-driven brand who need support and help standing out, get in touch, as we'd love to work with you. Take care.